evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Jasmine, and today I'll be presenting my icebreaker speech entitled Little Dipper. Raise your hands if you've heard this statement, people like to talk about themselves. This simply implies that we're all a bunch of narcissistic jerks. I'm going to have to disagree with this statement, simply because when I put this icebreaker speech together, I was at a loss for words. I couldn't figure out, what should I tell these people? Should I tell them about my childhood? Should I tell them about my personality, my spirituality, my most embarrassing moment, or who I think my hero is? I was like, nah, I'm not going to tell them that. I'm going to tell them about the first time I went to Kittyland. The first time I went to Kittyland was in the early 90s. My dad, my brother, and I all went to Kittyland. And we rode all the rides, practically all of the rides in the amusement park. The one ride that stood out the most was the Little Dipper. The Little Dipper is considered to be a junior roller coaster ride at Kittyland. It's a wooden, old white roller coaster. So we boarded the roller coaster. It was me in the front, me and my brother in the front, and my dad was directly behind us. So as the roller coaster took off, it propelled us up, and it turned right, and then there was all types of twists and turns and dips and highs and lows. And I'm telling you this story simply because it reminds me of my life. The turns, the twists, and the dips that I've experienced since I was born, December 21st, 1984, have really, I guess, shaped and molded me. The first turn, most significant turn in my life had to be when my parents divorced in the late 90s. I became a product of a single family home. And it's helped shape my personality, I would say, and impact, how I develop my relationships, so to say. The next thing I can think of as it relates to that roller coaster ride are the twists. There were so many twists, and then what pops up in my mind is my education. I've had so many twists and turns. I was the first in my generation within my family to graduate with an undergraduate as well as a graduate degree. Not only that, I've had several majors over the years. So in high school, I majored in horticulture. Then when I went into college, I was a nursing major. However, I applied for the program 3 times, but I didn't get in. Oh well. So I moved on and declared a public health major, and from there I moved into my graduate program and I became a health admin major. Eventually I graduated and got my master's degree. I'm telling you this because I consider myself to be a lifelong learner. I love achievement, I love excellence, I love education, which brings me to the position of the Vice President of Education. I think that this would definitely be a good role for me, and I think that I would benefit our organization well in that role. The last thing that I can think of on that roller coaster ride were the dips. And that's what I call the highs and the lows. And what comes to mind is my career. Oh man, I've had so many highs and lows within my career. I started out with the University of Chicago as a research assistant. And from there, I've worked for various companies, large companies, big name companies. I've had some amazing opportunities. And I've also had some lows. So I've been fired twice. I've been laid off. I took my skill sets to Texas and then brought them back to Chicago. So I've had quite a few lows and ups and downs. But I'm telling you this because, to conclude, just from my experience of riding that roller coaster, it ties into my life, so to say, with the dips and the turns. And I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't know what to expect when I came into the world. And I don't know when it's going to end. I didn't know when that roller coaster ride was going to end, and I don't know when my life's going to end. But this is one thing I can tell you. I'm going to sit back, enjoy the ride, and hope for the best.